Number 6. What in the... She's been plugged in. Let's see if she's got it. Oh yeah. She was plugged in overnight. About 25 degrees, we got about 3 inches of snow. Down where I'm living, it's about 4 inches. We're gonna try to, well, I'll just show you. So we got the mulch finisher behind us, obviously, and that's not something you usually see in the fall, but you remember I just briefly had a clip of an airflow blowing on some dry fertilizer for us. And there's a couple schools of thought you could let it sit, and then over the spring or over the winter it'll push in with the snow melt, or you can work it in with something and incorporate it. And more of the people told us to do that. A few people told us to let it sit. Thought about doing some anhydrous to work it in that way, but with our nitrogen program on our planter and the Y drops, yeah, I don't know, we just opted to do this, and this is the last 30 acres. The sun's supposed to come out here in a couple hours, so we're going to try to get this 30 acres just worked over lightly, just enough to get the soil turned and get that fertilizer incorporated before the sun comes out and makes it greasy, slippery out here. I'm hoping that it'll go this morning, but we're going to see. It's going, obviously. Like I said, all we're trying to do is just kind of stir the dirt up a little bit and just incorporate that fertilizer a little bit so it doesn't, you know, that we get it where we want it, basically. But it's going well. Despite all this snow, I have like 3 to 4% wheel slip, which isn't terrible. We're going about 5 miles an hour just so we try not to break things. But the seagulls, or whatever you want to call them, they're kind of tactical because they're, you know, white with the white snow. So they're just peeking out here. Get this work down. It's actually kind of twofold too, because we're making the soil black. So in the spring, it'll attract the sun better, and the sun will help the fields dry out faster, in theory. Now, I'm sure some of you are saying, why are you running the mulch finisher when you could run the ripper? And yes, there's benefits to running a deep ripper. I think it was about 3 years ago we ran those bullet points on that on our ripper in the bean ground, but that was also in like the first week of December because we just had a stellar year. Obviously, it's November and we already got snow on the ground, and they've been pounding the tillage right behind the combine. The last couple days I've been trucking for a neighbor because we had more than enough guys to run the ripper, so I helped truck corn away from their combine, and so they could try to finish up, and they're not done yet, but they needed all the help they could get. So but yeah, this thing covers ground way faster than the ripper, but not the same type of tillage, but for what we're trying to do in incorporating fertilizer, good enough. And just to help you put it in perspective, this thing's like 42 feet wide and our ripper's like 18 feet wide, so we're able to cover the ground a lot faster, obviously. And for the most part, tillage on soybean ground for us is a bonus. Generally, Mother Nature doesn't allow us to, hence the snow on the ground. But we do the best we can to work that fertilizer in, and here we are. And yeah, that's why we're doing it. Especially that's why we're doing it this way. It's kind of nice that areas that the combine cart and everything where they were standing water, now we're driving right through it. And it's nice just to knock down these weeds, just to make it somewhat black so that the sun will help this area dry out, and potentially we'll be able to farm through it next spring. But I don't know how the seagulls always know. Like, they found me within my first pass. You know, it's like they got scouts out there and they're just flying around, and all of a sudden one just says, mine, mine. And then you got 100 of them, 200 of them, mine, 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 behind you, and they just follow you all day. Making pretty quick work of this. It's pretty sweet running it in the snow. Usually we don't do really any tillage in the snow. Usually we're lucky enough to get the corn done before that and whatnot, but we're so close to the end here with 30 acres left, and we just figured, well, before the sun comes out and the ground ain't froze yet, let's get her done. It's just different seeing the tractor in snow like this. Oh, just about slipped. The sun's peeked out just for a second. Let's look this thing over. When it's so cold, metal gets so easy to break, it seems. Definitely getting some snow and ice buildup, but that's the end right there. So we maybe got, I don't know, 5 acres by the time I get the headlands cleaned up. Let's get it done. It is really, really strange to see those blades up there pushing snow instead of mud or dirt. Usually they'll push powdered dirt when you go over an area you've already worked, but that's kind of goofy, kind of cool. We're just wrapping it up here. Gonna clean up the headlands now. Go clean up that last little triangle I got going on back there, and we'll have this field done. Well, I was able to turn around here. There's like a little grass area, but I'll just touch this up. You can see the difference hitting it the second time makes, and the seagulls aren't near as incognito on the brown or black dirt. But I can never remember a time getting through all these wet holes. There's a handful of wet holes, you know, there, and then there's a couple, one there and over there, that we usually try to get through, and we can't. And I was able to get through them all and just knock those weeds down. More than likely won't be able to plant it next year, but it just makes the field look a lot cleaner, and I don't know, maybe we'll be able to plant it. But November 6th here, and that'll be it. That's all the field work we're gonna do. I'm almost certain, unless something else has changed, but I think we're gonna go try to put a piece of field tile in, but I gotta double check on that here. I'm gonna go get rid of this thing. All right, we're off. Done with tillage for the year. We're gonna go have a quick bite to eat. It's about lunchtime now, noon or so, noon 30 or 12:30, whatever you want to call it. And then we're maybe gonna go try to do some tiling here if it looks like it'll go. That'll probably be in the next video. So with that, you guys have a good one. Be safe as always, and we'll check you later.